Ragged Brook stood at the entrance to Highstones. He'd never been here before. Not once. It wasn't really a place that many cats came, and, well, there wasn't much of a choice when one had to receive their 9 lives, was there? As soon as Ragged Brook was in StarClan, he was immediately greeted by a blue-gray Tom with a scar over his eyes. He eagerly went to greet Ragged Brook, quickly giving him a life for swiftness. He said his name was Olivai, first medicine cat of FinchClan. Not that that meant much when the clan was less than 100 moons old. Olivai was gone almost as quickly as his came, leaving Ragged Brook confused, but also kind of glad that at least he was having his ceremony. Another unfamiliar face approached Ragged Brook. This one looked mad, angry, bitter. Really, every negative adjective one could think of to display discontentedness. His name, Raggedstar, clan founder. Ragged Brook had heard some not so nice things about this cat. Raggedstar gives him a life of protection, something that Ragged Brook reflects he certainly failed to do. Raggedstar tells him to use his lives wisely. He only has 9, and there could really be any instance where he might need 10 because of recklessness. Ragged Brook bitterly watches as Raggedstar goes and joins the rest of StarClan, wondering to himself why that vile cat even got himself a place up here. A very young cat approaches Ragged Brook next. Pete Gorse. Ragged Brook heard of Pete Gorse. He was, well, no one really said who Pete Gorse was. Pete Gorse gave a life of remembrance. He told Ragged Brook to never forget any of his fallen clanmates. They may be gone, but their memory should always live on. 4th cat was Midge Cloud. Ragged Brook did know Midge Cloud. In fact, everyone in the clan was always being told stories of the first deputy. Kind heart, one that didn't support but balanced Brightstar's bloodthirsty reign. Ragged Brook wasn't expecting the life from Midge Cloud. He was actually quite surprised to receive such a violent life. If ever asked what the life was, he wouldn't quite be able to describe it. He wasn't sure it even had a name. It was like a mixture. Ragged Brook's heart thought it would burst from his chest as he spotted a finally familiar face. Quillspot. Quillspot is a kitty pet that often hung around SpiderClan territory. Ragged Brook and Quillspot had been almost inseparable, but now Quillspot was gone. Tears in their eyes, Quillspot gave Ragged Brook a life of compassion. Quillspot was sure that Ragged Brook wouldn't need it, but hey, better safe than sorry. 6th life is given by another friend. Ragged Brook and Rue, while they weren't too close, they were, well, friends, at least. Rue apologizes for dying in her Rue ways, gives him a life of charisma. It was unclear if StarClan approved this or if she just made it up on the spot. Another medicine cat was here for the 7th life, Yellow Rose. Ragged Brook and Yellow Rose had never been close, but Yellow Rose hadn't just come to give a life. Yellow Rose looked Ragged Brook dead in the eyes and said, "You get a medicine cat for this clan, or I will find some way to resend my life." The life was wisdom. Is that irony? Ragged Brook was not quite sure. Second to last is Osprey Pelt. Osprey Pelt has no kind, reminiscent words, no threatening words either. He just says, "Slope Lily joins me soon, I will blame you." Could truly be a threat. He gets a life of love, and he suffers, like everyone who receives a life of love. You will suffer if you receive a life of love. Finally, it's Snake Star. Snake Star expresses openly her doubts to Ragged Brook's leadership. They don't know each other very well. In fact, she didn't much like Raggedstar at this point. He is Raggedstar, and she must accept that perhaps in her final moments she wasn't thinking too clearly and chose her deputy impulsively. She does not regret her decision. She only hopes that Ragged Brook can carry on the legacy of FinchClan and the legacy of her family through Slope Lily, who, while Osprey Pelt is dead, there is something else going on with Slope Lily, isn't there? Only time may tell.